Mic check, 1 2 1 2. What it do? It's your boys. We back with the fucking Shark Stream, episode 18. It's your boy Mako with the Mako with the fucking Draco. Ron the Don, Toby, One Kenobi, and we got our boy Rodney Jordan the Cash. First episode. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the team.
How y'all doing?
New set, new lighting, bro.
Since he's gonna be an official team member, we gotta think of a
you need a name. You need a shark name, bro.
Yeah, y'all definitely gonna have to help me with that one, man. I've been trying to make this one. I've been trying to make this one name word, but people haven't clinged on to it. I've been trying to say Tweezy, bro. Tweezy, too easy. Tweezy.
All right.
Let's roll with that.
So we got Mako, Conde la Draco, Ron the Don, One Kenobi, and Tweezy on the ones and twos delivering the hot topics.
Rodney Twin Tweezy.
Rodney Twin Tweezy. Let's go. All right, man. Like I said, hot topics coming at you this week. I'm not even gonna run them off because I feel like every time I do it, we don't get to one of them. So,
leave people with cliffhangers.
I don't know. Did the clip that you're before I elaborate, was that recent or
the Jubilee one?
Yeah,
it was from last year, from like April.
Okay, well, regardless,
I just recently watched it. I remember seeing the date.
Mm-hmm.
Or August, one of the two.
Your choice is different than mine is, but regardless,
did I do the right
one?
No, you did.
They did them all throughout 2020, I believe.
Yeah, they did a lot of them. I didn't really get to watch the other ones, but I did watch the Jubilee.
Jubilee does a thing where they pit people kind of against each other that are on opposite
middle ground. They call it middle ground.
On opposite ends of a spectrum. And I watched a couple of them, but the one we watched specifically pertaining to what we're talking about was it
Black liberals versus black conservatives.
Black liberals versus black conservatives, and then after that
we also watched another one where it was
flat earthers. I do want to talk about that one.
Oh dang! I wish y'all to see me that. I would have watched that one.
Yeah, that shit was
versus
funny.
Scientists.
Yes, that's what it's bro. That shit was crazy, bro. It's always the people on like the quote unquote idiot side that are actually disrespectful. In the conservative, the conservative versus liberals. That one guy,
the bald nigga.
That one was.
The dude who was like, what school did you go to?
Kevin. He was my favorite, bro. Kevin Loki was my favorite, bro. Like, it was like watching it. I remember when they introduced himself and when Kevin was like talking, like after the first question, and I heard Kevin like he wasn't like the other two conservatives. I was like, it's something. I just played it. And like my mom was in the room, so I was telling her about it because I was playing it out loud. I was like, it's something about Kevin. I was like, Kevin, the way like Kevin was talking about being a conservative, especially compared to the other conservatives, I was like, Kevin. The first thing that came to my mind was Carlton Banks. I was like, Kevin just grew up in like a rich, affluent home.
Yeah.
And that's where he gets his conservatism from.
I think he was
he's not.
He was a liberal because he was on this side.
He was a conservative.
No,
it was three conservatives too. He grew up conservative, but like you could kind of.
That was the one that was like on the edge.
Yeah, he was the one on the edge. Kevin to me was like at the end when he said he was adopted by a Caucasian family, I was like, that's it. I was like, that was it. I was like, if Kevin went to, I was like, Kevin clearly just like didn't grow up
around niggas
diverse, around niggas like diverse. I was like, yo, if Kevin went to like a state college or something like that, he would very much be a liberal. He probably would still have some of his conservative values.
He needs to go to HBCU.
Yeah, like I feel as if economically.
Fill me in right quick. So this is a real life friend of y'all's, right?
No. This was a video. This is a video.
Okay, so
because I heard Jubilee and I was just like, okay, I'm trying to get these names.
It was what they had 5 people.
Yeah, I thought
two liberals and 3 conservatives. Yeah, and then like one of the conservative ladies. Trump had
it's
everything.
basically like a panel, and
and they just discuss.
They're in the back, and you have seats up front, and they propose a question, and then they say if you agree with this, then walk up,
and then they talk about it,
and then they talk about
and
it,
then other people come up and give
and
their
then they
opinions
give their opinions
and so
like
one of the questions was like,
I wrote down all the
have you
questions,
ever
too.
felt excluded by the black community type shit, and then like some of them walked up.
Yeah, the title of it was like, is it time to get over slavery? So that was like the first question.
Oh yeah.
I was like one of the first questions, and of course the conservatives.
Not all of them. Kevin. That was why I like Kevin. Kevin was like
he was the most.
He was
moderate,
Kevin was the most moderate. There were the 3 out of the 3 conservatives. Kevin was like the only one who really, honestly, I felt like
It was the value.
You could have a conversation with Kevin, and you could probably sway him, and not necessarily like I don't want to get too down in the like liberal versus conservative thing, but it was like I don't have a problem with you being a conservative or a liberal or whatever. It's just how you go about doing that. The other two conservatives were stuck in their ways. Kevin was more so like, I see where you're coming from. My values just lean me towards this way. That's what I was saying. Like, if Kevin went to like a state college or something, if he was in a more diverse area where he was around people who just came up differently, and he just kind of like understood that better, I think he would be more on the left in like some other things. He already was way more open. Like, one of the questions was like, should black people accept the LGBTQ plus community? And the other two conservatives were basically like, no. And he was like, nah, I think even mentioning God, he was like, I think like everybody
Kevin would definitely vote for a Democratic candidate if the Republican side was definitely too radical.
I could honestly see Kevin, like, this was a year ago, but I could honestly see Kevin going into the last election and voting for Biden.
Yes.
He was, even the way that he explained, like,
even his facial expressions.
Bro, like when the lady was like, we need to educate you, young man. He was like, educate me?
She's
like, I was like, bro.
He was the one who asked what college she went to?
He was like, he said, did you go to college?
And
she was like, what? And she was like, yeah.
Something.
Like, he had a lot of
political science and
political science, social something.
And then he was like, that makes sense. I was like, no.
Because, like I said, it was, both of them. Jesus Christ. Like, because even the way he explained the whole homosexuality concept, I thought he was going to take it, even because he didn't sit down with them, but like, he opened, one thing that I did appreciate, even in that one and in the Flat Earth one, were like, there were points where it was like, okay, so if you're emotional, you're going to say this. But if you're intelligent enough to convey X, Y, Z, then you have an understanding of how things work. With the Flat Earth thing, for example, right? They asked a question. They were like, do you think the other side is uneducated? And the first thing I said, because I think I said this when,
It's because you just took a hit, man. I get it.
I guess 2 weeks ago.
Grant.
I said this when Grant was here. Grant was like, he said something about them not being that smart. I was like, actually, no. On the contrary, Flat Earth people, I know some Flat Earth niggas that are like actually really smart. And the dude, the Flat Earth people were like, yeah, those science dudes are not educated at all, because that's their whole thing. And the scientists came down, and one of the first things they said, I was like, no,
they were just
miseducated. It's like, like you, it's not that you don't know, like the information that you have been taught is wrong. Not like you just don't have like information, like
you're not smart enough to grasp and comprehend the information.
Like, so
or what you're grasping is just flat out wrong.
And you're like, because even when they were talking about the whole slavery thing, it's always been one of my biggest things with, like, I guess they all have it, like coons. Is the general term for them before.
Yeah, the bald nigga was definitely a coon.
I mean, they were both
coons. Month of January.
Who was more of a coon? Do you think he was more? No, he was more of a coon. He was more of a coon because the lady actually just seemed like she was kind of stupid. Not only that, she was super like indoctrinated into the Christian faith.
I think that was mostly her thing. Like, she was so.
So I didn't mean to cut you off, but the way you said coons was pretty funny, and I'm gonna start incorporating our own like little sounds into the
yes, actually, even better. Because it was like, even the way that she was like talking when what's the dude's name that we were just talking about?
Kevin, the young guy.
Kevin, when he was talking to her about, was it her or the other lady that was talking to her about, like, they were asking her questions about slavery, and she would never answer. Oh no, that
was the trans guy. I can't remember his name. He asked her because it was the second question, because it was a time to get over slavery, and then it was like, the second question was something like, should like being black impact your voting preferences? And like, they were talking about that, and that's when she kind of brought up Christianity, because Kevin said something about being pro-choice and pro-life, and so she was like, oh, your values are from Christianity, and he was like, that has nothing to really do with the question. He was like, I mean, like, I don't really have to divulge that because that wasn't the question. And she was trying to go that. And then the other guy, the liberal, he was actually a liberal. Where do you get those values He was like, yeah, where do you get those values from? And like the thing about her, honestly, that pissed me off is she kept saying slaves were taught to read and that they were taught English. And I was like, that is not true.
And then homie was like,
I was like, it was
we already knew how to read.
We already knew how to read. And she tried to stump him like, oh, what do we read? We don't know that. That's part of what was
literally
from
what
us.
was lost.
And then that's what that's the same conversation that I be having with Kenny about, because Kenny's like a super diehard Christian. I'm like, bro, just because just because that's your ideology does not mean that has to affect everybody else and what everybody else is going on. And B, like, even those things that are principle that you're talking about are laws and principles, like, for you, like, they were literally made by somebody, and you would not know what that was had it not been spread around the world and implanted into your, like, subconscious. Like, people really think the Bible is history. Like, straight up, like, this is the truth. And I'm like, bro, the fact that
complicated.
The fact that we can't definitively go, this is true, is the statement.
There is history in the Bible, and there is history behind the Bible. There were Bibles before the King James Bible, the Christian Bible that we know, that are taken and implemented into this. Christianity, as it was spread in America and then across the world from America and
the thing is, like, these stories, these concepts, these themes, they all come from somewhere that have been recycled over.
Right, and that was the thing. It was there before, and then they just took it to benefit them, to make their way of life.
I've had this conversation with so many different people, more specifically involving the Old Testament, and the further back you go in the Old Testament, a lot of those actual stories are either they're like way older than the Bible. They've been like, just like Ron said, they've been retold.
That was another thing that pissed me off. She was like, the Bible goes back to like the beginning of time. I was like, no, it doesn't. Like, not the Christian Bible.
Perfect example of that. The story
How
of
do you have before Christ, but it goes before.
Hey, see, hold on. These are a lot of questions that we're not meant to know and understand.
That's the concept.
So that we understand that nothing's certain. Nothing's for certain, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, even the perfect example of that is the story of Noah's Ark. So a lot of people don't know this. Like I said, another story that's way older than the Bible itself. That's a Mesopotamian story. It's actually possibly older than that. But in Mesopotamia, it used to flood super randomly, kind of frequently, and when it flooded bad, it flooded really bad. Like, whole cities and parts of civilizations were just wiped out overnight. And they made a story, and they were like, okay, so basically the gods got mad at people partying all night, and they flooded the whole basin. And because they only knew that as their world, they were like, yeah, the whole world basically flooded, and kind of most people died. And that's how, and that was a story that was ancient to them, because that's how they were telling, okay, well, this is how we got here, because everything flooded, so we all come from this one dude. Egyptians, when they made, like, the pyramids, were telling that story to people, and eventually that ends up adopted. You talk to people and they're like, bro, no, this is a fact, like, this really happened. And it's like, you can't
prove that.
Like, you can't. The fact that you cannot prove it.
And this is not for me to diminish any type of religion or Christianity specifically, but because everyone needs their own belief system. I have my own beliefs, but yeah, it's just.
I think it's fair to question it, and I think, and my whole thing about, I have no problem with any whatever religion you choose to be, or if you choose to have no religion. It's just that if you bring up something and I question it, now I'm not necessarily saying, like, don't get defensive.
Understand that there's uncertainty.
Understand that there's uncertainty, and I want you to see. I would prefer if you saw, like, where I was coming from, because I'm not asking it to attack you. It was something that my way of thinking was like, that doesn't make sense the way you told me. So I question it. You could then come back and explain it in a way that makes sense, and I would believe it. And I'd be like, okay, I'm going to take your word for it. Because at the end of the day, like, I don't study religion. So I don't know the histories behind them. I'm just looking at it from how I was raised and the values that I have in my perspective. And it's like, you say you should do this, and it's like the contradiction where it's like, oh, like, this is what Kevin said. He was like, he believes people are all made in God's image, so you could essentially do whatever you want to be whatever you want. And then the two coons were like, no, you can't do that. And I was like, that's contradictory,
The
right?
Fact that
Isn't that
said
contradictory?
in the abortion thing, or it was not the abortion thing, when they were talking about LGBTQ rights, he was like, bro, because I thought he was going to go one way, and he took it exactly where he needed to go. He was like, basically, I'm not God, so I can't judge people. So
God's people aren't meant to judge people. Like in the Bible, it says we shouldn't judge. So it's like
I also thought Kevin
people interpret it differently.
Yeah, they interpreted it different. I also thought Kevin was a really good example of like not all conservatives are racist, especially when you get to he was raised by white people. It was very clear that their conservatism wasn't like traditional white supremacy conservatism. Their conservatism wasn't necessarily the conservatism like we saw from MAGA and Trump.
They were like, we're rich.
They're more like, they're more like you said, he was a social, philosophical, and economic conservative. So he voted for things that are more so like, hey, I don't really want the wealthy to pay more taxes. I think based off my religious values that you should be pro-life, probably more so than pro-choice. But by the way he said that, he mentioned both. He clearly has some thoughts on like, I think maybe that lean more to pro-choice. Like, and you could probably say in certain circumstances, like, you know, there are very extreme people on pro-choice who are like, oh, you should be able to get an abortion no matter what, right? His might be, you could get an abortion, but not after the first trimester. Like something like that. Like I feel as if like that would kind of be more on the line that he was on. And I think that, I honestly believe that like he probably like voted for Biden.
There's definitely more they could have said.
Yeah, it was definitely more. I feel like the liberals held back a little bit.
Because what we see is always like, how the videos maybe 20 minutes. They were probably
in there for
25. They were probably in there for like 2 hours or something, and they could only cut out like certain bits and pieces. Where do you feel you rate on the spectrum of? Have you ever taken a test to see where you actually rank on the spectrum of like
a political
spectrum? Yeah, the political spectrum test. I think you'd probably say like.
Okay, so 1 being and 10 being like, can you?
It's more so like left, right, moderate, kind of.
Oh man,
or just like how you would vote, like just like
how would you think? Because I mean. Probably liberal, just definitely like in this time.
Which side would you more kind of favor to like now, at least like in the last election, I guess.
But
which side would you?
Quick question: is it an actual test y'all took?
Yeah, we took.
How long did that take?
That's it.
It took me.
I mean, there's a shorter test.
Yeah, there are like shorter. I took a couple.
Long.
Would it be wild if I just took it right now?
I mean,
to see how that goes. Is it like
you might be you gonna be quiet for like 15? You gonna be quiet for it, man.
You could take.
Why wouldn't I read it out? Because I would like.
You could take another one.
It's long.
You could probably take like
I was gonna see.
You could probably take like a political compass test. That might be a little quicker. It's not gonna give you the same thing.
Even this one's long. This one's like a 50.
This one, I took this one too. It took me like 5 minutes.
Yeah. This one, the one that Ron said, bro. The one that you said, I was like,
that one, bro. I had to look up stuff too.
Yo, that's why.
Because I was like,
I literally looked up everything.
I started. When did y'all send the text? Monday or something? I was still at work when y'all sent it, so I got home too late Monday. But like, I started yesterday after work, and then I was like, yo, I didn't finish until maybe like a couple hours ago. To be honest,
I did because I like.
I'm gonna actually say that name.
Like it's because it's
like Filteries or something.
Political simulator filteries.com.
Yeah,
bro.
You can do it on your phone. I found it was easy to do on the computer though, because it does kind of give you. Like you can hover over essentially like what the question is, and it gives you a breakdown of like what it was. Because like when I was doing it on my phone, I was opening up other tabs. Like, yo, what is this? Yo, what is this? And I was like, and then I tried, and then I did it on my computer and hovered over. I was like, oh, this is so much easier. But it gets really, it breaks it down. Basic government, law enforcement, and then just the sectors. And the sectors was the part that got me off because you're legitimately
the sectors was
saying
so detailed.
how much you want to, how much spending. Private, public, in different sectors, and it goes education, healthcare, media, retail, like the basic ones, right? Then agriculture, real estate, like industrial or something like that. Like, oh, I got it up. Natural resources, construction, manufacturing.
That's the. Hold on.
This is like my results.
You can really put.
But like if you go in, like, and this is only one of the things open.
It's just really in anything.
The government law enforcement. I was only in sectors.
I feel like a lot of the time,
it goes. And
you don't really need government control in a lot of things.
That's what I was saying when I was making mine, bro. Like, Bro, you should be that shit. I was like, bro, what kind
when
of
I did it, I was like,
I think I did like maybe medical for government control.
I had a lot of government.
Yeah,
I didn't even look at it as government control. I looked at it. I was about to say, bro. I looked at it as just like I didn't even look at it as the government had control over it. I looked at it from like a spending aspect.
Yeah.
Like, how much do I want the government to impact?
Or like government regulations.
Yeah, like I looked at it like that. Like I think for like education and healthcare, they were like 65 to 70%.
Yeah, education
for
definitely.
me. And then like that's mine was like very low.
Like,
military was low for me.
Military was like 33.
I had like 28.
But considering how much America spends in military, like now,
how much? What percent? Do you remember what percentage?
It was something like 70% when we looked it up. Did you put your military? Do you remember my military was I don't even know if I remember if I changed it because I started over.
But I'm gonna say the exact.
My military might have been like 25.
I'm gonna say the exact stat.
I put 28 because I was like, niggas cannot invade us, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I cannot.
Well, did you pick isolationism or what's it called?
No, I picked there was
pacifism. I picked isolationism because that one was kind of like you only get in if you're being threatened. I didn't pick pacifist because I was like,
wasn't there?
You got to be able to fight.
Yeah,
wasn't it interventionalist? Not interventionalist, but
it was basically like pacifist, and it was like only if like you're being attacked. Then it was like for military control, and then it was for like colonialism. Basically, it was like the last one sounded like colonialism.
Yeah.
But I picked like isolationism. Like basically, like you can have a strong.
Everybody got their welfare high as fuck. I love it.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Give these niggas money, man.
Welfare was like I think I put welfare like 70%.
Like you have to really pay attention to like the GDP growth and like your deficit.
Oh yeah, like
shit.
I didn't get that to the end.
So my
GDP deficit is like 46%, bro.
Yeah, so I didn't.
I was like, niggas would hate me.
I didn't finish it all the way, but I did end up getting to about like a negative 18 deficit.
See, now I want to go through.
See, mine is 45%. I didn't I didn't do that until like the end. I was like, damn, the deficit is like 45.7%.
So,
just for perspective, the GDP deficit for 2020 with the pandemic was something like 20%.
Oh.
So and that's with the very limited government assistance that they gave to like poor people.
The fact that America is good at making money.
He was just waiting to say it. Like, damn.
But I'm gonna just read out the summary of what it is. So the structure said it was a federal technocratic world state. I definitely had some science. My science.
Yeah, science was up. Yeah,
I'm trying to. You know what I'm saying?
What did you pick for government officials? Because I wish you could pick more. Because they had anyone. I put STEM. But I also kind of wanted to do labor unions with like just to protect the working class. Because like I picked STEM and I was a computer science major. Ron was a computer science major. Shout out to computer science.
Yeah, we biased.
We biased. But I also know like how STEM people are. Like we can be conceited and definitely look down on like other types of people.
Hard,
so I was like, bro, our majors was hard as fuck, bro. I'm not like, but I was like, I would kind of like want to do like the labor unions and STEM. Yeah. But I definitely picked STEM.
I haven't gone into super detail. I had to look at what clerics was. But my deficit is 1.1%.
I was like, ain't that a warlock or something like that?
Damn.
No, there's like religious stickers.
Yeah.
The thing at the bottom as far as like
the sectors.
Yeah, the sectors and stuff like
that. The sectors is what really takes it along.
This is interesting because everybody's graph is like
I am a lot farther left. But I'm also a lot farther to monarchism.
That's actually not even my chart. This is my chart.
And so
actually, I think I did it again, but I remember this specifically.
So the governing system I had was a constitutional republican monarchy.
Mine was constitutional direct democracy.
I had everyone like be elected.
I had everyone do direct vote.
I had one person. I had
Well, yeah, like
I think I had
the president, executive director.
I think I had the person in charge of. Actually, I didn't even do that. I think I had the person in charge be elected, and I think not even that. I because I've done it 2 times, and the third time is going to be. I think it's going to be like properly done. But I think I was like, bro, not
how far I live.
I'm like down.
I'm like literally right below you.
So interesting.
I was like,
It's a chart of how it looks like at the end.
I was like, bro, not everybody.
Why does that look so
you can only
balanced,
vote
bro?
if you have education.
That's good, right?
Yeah. And I was like, bro,
I would
not everybody.
think it was good,
What
but
did you do as your voting policies? Because I was just telling
mine
him.
were all direct vote.
But as like the policies, because I was telling him, I was like, bro, I didn't even say everybody can vote. I was like, age.
Oh, it was age and education.
Oh, yeah,
it was age and education.
Yeah,
it was age and education.
Not all your education.
It was age and education. Because I remember the exit polls from the 2016 election and this election. And I also, the funny thing was, I was talking to my mom again earlier, because that's like, aside from these niggas, the only person I talk to. But,
man, we love you, moms. We haven't shouted you out in a couple of weeks.
There's been a couple episodes, but shout out to moms.
We love the mom.
But I was,
love your mama, bro.
I was talking to my mom about it, and
Mama's love.
it was somebody posted it on Twitter, and so I had to like retweet it, and I looked it up. And so there are 15 states that have a population of like 38 million people, and they elect 30 senators, and they are all Republican senators. California has a population of 40 million people, and they only elect 2 senators. They're both Democratic senators. Democrats represent 41 million more people in the country than Republicans. Yet the Senate is only 51-49 Democrat, and the House is something like, I think, 218-198. They lost House Democrats in the last election. So
20 seats?
I don't think they lost 20 seats, but they did lose a good amount. And then there were other things like, so Puerto Rico has 3.1 million people, which is more than Wyoming, North and South Dakota, and Alaska combined. But Puerto Rico has no senators, and those 4 states have 8, and they're all Republican. You know, and I'm not saying that to say that like the other races and stuff are monoliths, but they don't have any. DC has like 400 or 700 some thousand people.
Collapse.
46% of them are black, and they have no senators.
They need to collapse North and South Dakota.
All North and South, all North and South states need to be one state.
Not all of them.
They just need
to be Dakota, and then they need to induct Puerto Rico. If that's what Puerto Rico wants to do, because
they also want to give DC statehood. They're working on that now.
Then they need to take Kentucky.
You don't need to remove states to add states. But we can have 52 states.
I don't like 52 states though. I don't got the same ring to it as 50. You can just keep it a Virgil with a nigga, bro. Like, perfect.
Keep it 2 Virgils.
Keep it 2 Virgils. All right, man.
Wyoming has 578,000 people, is 92% white, and has 2 Republican senators. The 8% of black people in Wyoming is Kanye. I just said that because I wanted to say that joke. All right, we can go on to the next thing.
All right, sports talk.
I just wanted to say that.
Before we do talk about Tom Brady, I would just like to talk about some NBA things, more specifically.
I would like to finish it.
Free Bradley Bill from the clutches of Westbrook.
Oh, dude, that's fair. So
I don't think that Tom Brady will be that long. We can kind of just get through this. Unless
depends.
Anybody here likes Tom Brady.
Okay, so I actually have.
If anybody
I actually will say Tom Brady. Tom Brady's
if he pulls this off, I think he needs to pull this off to be the GOAT. He's a GOAT. If he pulls this off, he will be the GOAT.
Tom Brady is not the GOAT.
Tom Brady's the GOAT, bro.
Because when we look back on it's between a GOAT or the GOAT. He needs to be the GOAT to defeat Chiefs.
Because, one thing I will say, I am not a football, like, I don't know football the same way that I know basketball. So
I can help you out with that a little bit.
Who is the GOAT of football as far as quarterbacks? I guess the GOAT of football, maybe, generally, because Tom Brady gets 7 rings. He's the GOAT of football.
No, he's really not.
Are we talking about of all time?
Yes, the GOAT.
Obviously that involves people like Joe Montana.
Yeah, that's the GOAT. So Joe Montana is the GOAT.
What establishes
and
Joe
I still
Montana
think Peyton Manning is better than Tom Brady
as the Michael Jordan of football?
Who's the Michael Jordan of football?
Who's the Michael Jordan of football? It's not necessarily
Joe Montana. Why is Joe Montana the GOAT of football quarterback positions?
Joe Montana is the blueprint.
You have to elaborate.
Like Joe Montana is the blueprint. The records that Tom Brady are breaking are more or less Joe Montana's.
How many rings that nigga has?
Joe Montana has 5.
5, yeah.
He
He's got 5 rings.
Tom Brady has 6 right now.
He has 5 rings. He was 5-0 in the Super Bowl.
He was 5-0 in the Super Bowl.
He was 5-0 in the Super Bowl. He has 5 rings.
Nah, wait, come on, man.
Okay, yeah.
The streak that he and Jerry Rice
he and Jerry Rice are probably the best quarterback wide receiver duo ever.
5 rings.
He is number 3 in total touchdowns or something like that, or I think he's top 7 or something like that.
Okay, but this is the thing.
I know Tom Brady.
Same way that I was like,
Tom Brady's
number
1
technically,
right now,
he's 500 with 60.
Especially if LeBron gets
61.
7 rings, he's the GOAT. And if he gets 6, he's still possibly the GOAT because he'll be
here's the thing. I don't like the comparison.
Did we say LeBron?
I don't like the comparison of LeBron is basketball.
LeBron has 5. Doesn't he?
He has 4.
He has 4. If LeBron gets,
if he gets 6,
he's the GOAT. Because this is the thing.
By the time he's what age? 35, 39.
If LeBron 3-piece with the Lakers.
Okay,
if he gets 6.
If he 3-piece with the Lakers, he's the GOAT. The camera.
He's the GOAT.
Shit.
5.
So this is the point that I'm trying to make. Jordan has gone to the finals 6 times, and he won all 6 times.
Right. LeBron's never been outside the first.
I mean, yeah, fair, but still.
How long are we gonna ride that perfection stick?
But that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Brady has been to 10.
This is
10. This will be his 10th. And he is 6-3.
He is 6-3. That is amazing to have more. And then not only that, they're not. You can't say they're not. Wait. You cannot say they're not impressive. But the wins that he has, they're pretty impressive. He lost to teams. He lost to the underdog teams. He lost to teams he was not supposed to lose to.
But they're also attached to, like, you got 3 from Spygate. You got 3 from Spygate, and you got 1 that he got to the Super Bowl because of the Tuck rule. So, like, I
love how you just keep on. Okay,
the way I view it is he has 2.
But he has 6.
He has 2.
But he does have 6.
It's crazy how
the way that
he's
I view
always.
it is he has 2 that I can't attach to any type of tomfoolery. No matter how much I want to attach the Falcons' loss to it, the simple fact of the matter is if they ran the fucking ball, we'd be Super Bowl champions.
But they didn't. There are so many other parts. But there are other parts.
That's why I count. That's why I count that one.
This is the thing.
That's why I count that one. The Flakegate doesn't matter because that was the divisional round. The Flakegate doesn't really matter because that was a divisional round and they won 44 to fucking 7.
Tom Brady wins.
The thing about the Flakegate for me is he spanned it out over a whole year, still got suspended over just not showing them your phone.
Tom Brady wins.
Like, he just kept going.
Tom Brady's the GOAT.
He's not the GOAT, bro.
I'm sorry.
He's not gonna have. He has the same formula here that he had in Tampa and
because he's
fucking
a winner.
New England.
Because he's a winner.
Because he's surrounded by good coaches and great fucking defense. The defense fucking saved his ass last week. He tried to give the game away.
Can we just settle it on this next game?
No.
What are you talking about? Because this will answer your question. I'm sorry if this season wasn't enough for you on how well he did, but he did do well. He did do well. You're not gonna even say well. I'm not. I have a scale.
All right, he played.
My scale is excellent. Excellent being on top. Amazing being on top. He's only been doing well, and look how far it's gotten him without people like Antonio Brown and Gronkowski to back him up properly.
Look how. Did you see his defense, bro? The defense has gotten them here.
Bro, it's still,
The defense has had his numbers. They did lose to all the big contenders in the regular season.
They lost to
the Saints twice. They lost to the damn Chiefs by 3.
And then they picked it up. Yes, they beat the Saints in the playoffs because what did they figure out? Oh, Drew Brees can't fucking throw no more.
Oh, so let's make him suddenly it's all Drew Brees' fault.
Bro,
it's crazy.
No, it's not all Drew Brees'
all right, bro.
It's not all Drew Brees' fault. The defense.
So where was Michael Thomas in the game, bro?
Nowhere. Why was Michael Thomas nowhere though, right? Because the fucking defense. They locked that nigga up. He had 140 some receptions last year. He had 0. Double donuts in the playoffs. Don't ever mention that nigga with good receivers to me, bro. First off, fuck the Saints. I don't really hate the Bucks. I just don't like Tom Brady.
The Bucks are just enough, and yes, their defense has been very reliable, especially this postseason.
Defense has always been what's put Tom Brady over the top.
But can you stop the Chiefs? All right, we need to.
Can they stop?
To get to the end of this subject,
I don't know.
Can they stop the Chiefs? No. I'm leaning on no. I'm kind of hoping, and I'm rooting for Tampa Bay, but the Chiefs are damn near unstoppable.
Yeah,
they're really
just they're too loaded. They're like the Golden State of football.
They are like the Golden State of football,
bro.
But they have real deficiencies on defense. Like they have real deficiencies on defense. They are not a great defensive team. Like I said, I mean, if fucking what's his name, Godwin can catch the fucking ball consistently in this game, Tom Brady has a myriad of weapons. Like he is literally loaded, and he's getting all the fucking credit.
So Chiefs are Lakers and
no, the Chiefs are more so like they're like the Golden State, but like they're really more like this Nets team right now.
Well, currently speaking,
yeah, Golden State had defense. They're more like this Nets team, like right now.
Chiefs or something didn't have defense.
They don't really. They
do have attackers. What's his name? Jones, the defensive end, then Matthew. What's his name?
They got Matthew and Jones.
I thought that's how you say his name.
That's it.
It's still stop. Oh.
That's it.
I think it's. You know what?
They don't have like a solid, true defensive back core. Their linebackers are all right. Oh,
I feel like I have a.
I used to have an SD card on me. Damn, if only I brought my Switch. There's an SD card in there.
I can use my phone.
You want to?
Yeah, okay. Let me just make sure I have the proper amount of space. I wish I knew more about football, man. Just the racism tapped me out of it. And I just, I just can't.
That's another reason why I don't fuck with Tom Brady. The fucking Trump hat and shit, and
MAGA.
The whole that thing with Boston.
Oh, dude, yeah, I got space.
And New England.
Did I grab my bad? I'm trying to figure out if I grabbed. Yes, I did.
But no.
Oh no, not Michael Jordan.
Tom Brady is not the GOAT. Sorry, not sorry. He's not the GOAT. Joe Montana's still the GOAT. Peyton Manning's still better than Tom Brady. He did more with less.
Tom Brady might be the GOAT. I don't know if I can hear me off camera.
Tom Brady is not the GOAT. Peyton Manning did more with less.
But
Peyton Manning actually had more skill as a quarterback.
What do y'all know about the Ravens? That used to be my team.
I fuck with the Ravens. I just don't really know what happens to them in the playoffs. I mean, like, they get game planned against, but I don't quite understand how they get game planned against, because they should still be able to run the ball. Lamar Jackson can throw. Their defense this year wasn't as physical in the regular season, but their defense got bitched last year against the Titans. And they basically got bitched this year again. I forget who they lost to. I think the Bills. But I did like that Bills team. That Bills team was fun to watch. Their defense was solid. Their Josh Allen development away from being like a real contender. Josh Allen is fun. Shout out to Stephon Diggs for what he did to the Saints a couple years ago.
The miracle.
It wasn't a miracle. It was divine intervention. No, it literally was divine intervention, bro. That Super Bowl was in Atlanta. Like the Saints, was that? No, that was the Rams who say that the Rams were divine intervention when they didn't call the PI. That one was divine intervention. Like, you could not have Saints fans come to Atlanta for the Super Bowl and play Tom Brady. I would have feared for my life.
Are you clearing space on your camera?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't know where my tripod.
I thought you had brought it out.
I feel like I did.
So, contributing to another reason why I don't watch football, I have beef.
Beef of the week. It's been a minute.
With the white man.
Yeah. With the white man.
Mr. Goodell. Roger Goodell. Commissioner.
The white man that domestic violence.
Oh,
case.
I do not. I don't know if I can say this. Fuck it. Like, on some real shit, like, that nigga needs to be hunted down.
Oh yeah.
Like
some people just don't need to be here, man.
Hang
that nigga now.
Hang that
oh,
nigga now. Like we need to just go ahead and get him up out of here. Cause he beat her unconsciously because she didn't bow to him. I didn't even read the story. This is just sound bits of a guy because I can't sit through it and read what happened. But he beat her unconsciously because she wouldn't bow to him. And even though he thought she was dead, he continued to eat dinner while she laid there unconscious.
Oh,
the OT on the Seahawks?
Yeah, that you just saw.
The old lineman. I don't know if he's a tackle.
That needs to have way more spotlight on it than it has. And Twitter is putting the rise on it.
Twitter is like trying to get it out there. The Seahawks have released him, and I'm like, that's not enough. I was like, and at this point, like, just find that nigga in the streets, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care anything about rehabilitation.
To touch on a point that Ron said earlier about people don't really need like governing force, like. You really are right. Like, you can put people in a situation. Like, I mean, this literally happened all throughout history. People just, like, live. And because people have this kind of common understanding. Like, you do have people that do fuck shit sometimes. But, like, the majority of people don't do that. And it's like, the majority of people are kind of like, you can really live in a community and nobody steals anything. It's just like, bro. Especially if everybody's taken care of and everybody's doing X, Y, and Z. Exactly. You don't need nobody coming inside. Especially.
What are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Like black people say, like, a lot of communities, especially black communities, aren't like safe, but it literally, like, I think the lady said it in the thing. They're over police, so it's a totally.
And I wish that they could have dived deeper into those reasons.
I've talked about this dude Jeff that I used to know a while ago.
Jeff.
Yeah, OG Jeff. He was like, yeah, bro, like, back in the day, like, especially back in the day, because police were so, like, straight up brutal with us and, like, would kill us and all that shit. Of course, we didn't call the police and shit, but people within our community knew. Like, they redlined us, they put us in it. We were literally living in, like, big ass boxes type shit. But it was like, we understood within our community, bro, if this dude's a child molester,
literally living through that now.
Yeah, basically, bro. He was like, bro, if this dude's a child molester, we're gonna go beat his ass and probably kill him, and that's it. And nobody's gonna call the police. We're just handling it within ourselves. If there's a fight in the community, we handle it like within and like amongst ourselves. And there was he said there was a super deep, true, like, real sense of, like, community. We didn't need to, like you said, and I think we just agreed on that.
We didn't need that was also police. Part of the 10 what are they? They're not like commandments, but points. The Black Panther, like, code. That was, like, of the 10 things, you know, like, don't let anybody outside your community teach your kids or like police you and stuff like that. But it was also like, you know, if somebody within our community is, I believe it was the Black Panther one, is doing bad, basically like what you said, like, we'll handle it. Like, we'll keep it, essentially, like, we'll keep it in-house, and it'll be dealt with.
Okay.
But yeah, Tom Brady's not the GOAT, but we got to get on to one of these.
I don't think he's going to win.
He will be if he beats the Chiefs.
He will not be.
Look, bro, because it's the concept.
He will not be.
Okay, based on outside this, once again,
I want to talk about a real GOAT.
Wait.
In basketball.
Before that.
In basketball.
Before that. If you are right about saying that this team is like the Golden State Warriors of football, if Tom Brady comes in as the not favorite,
as the LeBron
at 40 fucking
with what he has, because he has weapons,
and he has a lot of
just
like
weapons. LeBron had weapons and reliable weapons,
better weapons than LeBron had.
But you talking about this? Based on what I'm hearing, he's overmatched. If he comes in,
he's really not that overmatched. Yes, they just want to give Tom Brady a fairy tale fucking ending. He's really
Chiefs
not
are gonna
that
fall.
Overmatched. No, like the Chiefs are gonna win. But he's not overmatched.
Okay, see, that's what I'm thinking.
He's not overmatched.
I don't even know about football, and I think this dude's overmatched. They say Patrick Mahomes.
He's outmatched. I didn't say over. He's outmatched for sure. That's how I see it.
I mean, right now,
everybody on that offense.
On a scale of 1
right now, Patrick Mahomes is better, and their offense operates better and faster than the Bucs do.
So if they don't put no pressure on him in this game, he's gonna run loose, and Tyreek's gonna go crazy, and that's the end of the defense.
He doesn't run. I mean, like, he'll stay in the pocket.
Yes, he can.
The thing is, like, he can if he has to, but he doesn't. Like, he doesn't just like out here run unless he absolutely has to.
Travis Kelce is gonna be so deadly.
I've definitely seen a meme where their stats side by side, and Holmes is definitely like
Yeah, like
Top
that's what I
tier.
said. Like
The
right
man's
now,
in his prime.
Patrick Mahomes is better
crazy.
than Tom Brady.
The dude's in his prime, and this is
that
what, his third or fourth year.
But Tom Brady is not overmatched. He's not really outmatched. He has a lot of weapons offensively. And they have a top defense.
Other than Godwin and Miller,
Godwin, Miller, Gronk.
Gronk has been
fucking
absent.
Brown.
Can we stop mentioning Gronk
He's
as a
still
weapon?
out there.
He
You
only
still
gets
have to
2
account
receptions
for
a
him.
game.
You still have to account for him. You're gonna be like, oh, Gronk only gets
Maybe
2
he'll be
receptions,
there.
so I'm gonna leave him open.
The way the Super Bowl goes, they'll try to get it to him like once or twice, unsuccessful, because the Chiefs defense gonna be on top of it. Then the third one's gonna get him 20 yards, man. That's
They're
it.
gonna be on top of everybody though. He's got a solid 5
This
receivers.
is the thing, bro. But everybody knows you don't bet against Tom Brady. You just don't do that.
I also don't.
Like,
I
you
also just don't
do
go
that.
off of betting
So,
lines either.
okay, let's go ahead and mention that the refs are gonna be ass, right? They're gonna be calling the dumbest shit.
There's so many
Of
aspects.
course.
Wow.
Yes, like.
Tom Brady
a lot
always
of
gets
pass
fucking
interferences maybe we called this
There are so
time
many aspects of
in
the
response
game.
to the fact that there were no calls up until the last point of the Green Bay game. That's a good point. So if they call that bullshit out, it'll affect somebody
Mans threw 3
tremendously.
picks, single-handedly got Green Bay back in the game, and his defense off of the first 2 picks, first 3 and outs,
Right.
to keep them at bay.
Right, turnovers. If Tom Brady does that reckless throwing shit, if y'all saw that last game, about 2 of them, and I think he'll lose.
It wasn't reckless throwing. It was
Yes,
a
it
40-year-old
was.
quarterback trying to throw the ball.
Oh, but then we won't credit him for the first half throws.
The first half throws were great.
Were beautiful.
It's a 60-minute game.
So he threw
threw 2
forward,
picks
okay.
in the second half of a 60-minute
What's next,
game.
guys?
That's what happens when you're a 40-year-old quarterback still playing.
43.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
The goats.
You're going up against what? Patrick Mahomes is 25?
Older.
Of course, Patrick Mahomes.
We're gonna
would
see.
be
This is
better.
all in how Brady performs. He's gonna
It's
need
not
help
next
with the
week,
running.
bro. It's
Ronald
next
Jones
week.
and Fournette are going to have to
When
do
is the Super
something.
Bowl?
If they don't
He's
get
got-
it,
he's got-
it's in 2 weeks on the 7th, February.
He's got weapons. He's got
With the weekend
weapons
performing
in
at
the
halftime.
back. He's got more receivers.
I can't wait
He's
to hear
got the
Black Liberal.
better defense.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people are saying he's so overmatched. It's like,
He doesn't have
Tom
the better
Brady's a fucking
receivers.
Tom Brady's an underdog. Tom Brady's a fucking underdog because he doesn't have Belichick at coach.
That's right. Are y'all gonna watch the Super Bowl?
I haven't watched any football game in the last. I literally
Well, let this be the one, man. If you understand
Dude,
how they get
actually,
from one side
yeah,
to
I'll
the end
watch
and
it
the
this
other,
year. I'll watch it this year.
watch that shit because
Super
there ain't
Bowl
nothing
Yeah,
else to do.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl for Patrick Mahomes in the weekend.
Chiefs win. Chiefs win.
You wanna do it? I mean, I can do it.
27-23.
I can stream it off my phone.
I never count. I never guess.
You never thought about that? Try it out and
I
think about
never
it.
guess scores because it's just
So
like,
guess the score. Try it out. If y'all were to give it just like a final score, if y'all were to give a final score for the game, and then we'll end this.
I'm just kidding.
Well, who will win by what?
I'm gonna say
I got Chiefs by a touchdown.
23-24. Ooh, I'm gonna say 24-36. Chiefs. 33 Chiefs. 24-33 Chiefs.
Okay. And Karan, just wild
How
guess.
do you get to 33?
It's possible. I mean, I think I've seen
4
it. Yeah.
touchdowns and 2-pointers.
It is
Couple
kind
field goals.
maybe a safety.
You get 3
21.
touchdowns.
A
You get
2-point
3
conversion,
touchdowns,
I mean.
3 field goals. I can see that.
I don't know. So, like, are they usually... Because my first initial thought was to say, like, 36-42. But
Bucks aren't
That's
enough.
no defense
I feel like
On
that's-
either team?
That's,
on either team.
That's why
It's just whoever
also
made
wanted
the
to say,
last
like,
mistake.
Oh yeah.
Whoever
Yeah,
made the last fumble.
That's
So-
whoever turns the ball over more, or whoever gets ball
and
last.
so
I don't think it's gonna be that.
I'm going to go with 24-18.
Chiefs. Oh no, he said it. Tampa Bay.
It's the thing, man.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't
Bro,
bet
that
against-
would be so
bro,
wild.
Whenever
That
Brady
would be so
is
wild.
like, it's like he loses against the teams he's not supposed to lose to. Like, so like,
But he beats the teams
he's
that.
supposed to beat. Like the teams that is like, oh,
Yo, you know what?
Like,
Good point.
Like-
That is a good point. But bro, this is.
you don't like even the perfect example of that.
He lost to the
perfect-
8-8
the
Giants
the absolute perfect example of
That
that.
hurt, bro.
I stopped watching
me, 'cause
football.
I'm a fan of the
in-
Patriots.
I stopped watching football the 2016. I stopped watching really the 2014, 2015 season, but I stopped keeping up with it officially 2016, 2017 season. I was like, bro, fuck this shit. And it was wild because my favorite team is the Eagles, and I don't be like,
damn. I know, that was a great.
So I was like, it was literally like I was not looking at anything that was happening, and then every once in a while I'd look down at my phone and be like, bro, they're winning. Like, why is the one season that I'm not paying attention they're winning? And then they got all the way up to around the playoffs, and then Carson Wentz got injured. I was like, oh god, God. But then Nick Foles took over, and never was the same.
The godlike fist.
Yes, and I was like, you know what? This is gonna be the game that I watch. And I was like, wow, they beat Tom Brady. Why?
He played his ass off that Super Bowl, and I can't
He was not supposed. He lost against a backup quarterback. That was not supposed to happen, and that's the game. The game that he lost.
I like it.
Then did they win against the Seahawks?
Yes, they did. By lucky ass.
And they weren't supposed to win. They weren't supposed to win.
That's the other thing. Lucky ass shit. That wasn't even Tom Brady. That was Pete Carroll. Run the fucking ball.
Run the fucking ball with Marshawn.
They checked out to a pass. Again, Tom Brady didn't win them that game.
Look, so he gets a stat boost when
Tom Brady gets all the credit for having great coaches and great defense.
The odds are stacked against Tom Brady.
When he doesn't have as great of a defense, he loses to the 8-8 fucking Jets.
When the odds are stacked against Tom Brady, he plays better.
He never he did lose to the Jets when they had Mark Sanchez.
Literally, regardless of what
fucking Matt Castle took them to a 10-6 wild card win.
He brings down all the the losses he took.
Regardless of what you say,
that wasn't even really a loss. That was just proves my point that Tom Brady is on loaded teams.
You cannot be like Tom Brady's mid. I feel like you're saying Tom Brady's mid.
He is.
He's not. You can't be like
he is.
You can't be like
you could take Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Patrick Mahomes, and put them generally anywhere, and that's a playoff team. I don't think you can put Tom Brady anywhere and it's a playoff team. With a myriad of weapons. Bro,
well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Jameis Winston is ass. He threw 30 fucking picks.
Okay.
That's why they couldn't win games. Right? Yes, Tom Brady is a lot better than Jameis Winston, but he is not fucking the god or the GOAT, bro.
He's definitely not mid.
He's closer to mid.
Wouldn't you want weapons as a quarterback?
Yeah, you should get weapons as a quarterback. But he's always had weapons. I'm not saying he doesn't take advantage of it. I'm just saying, why are y'all giving him the fucking credit?
Matt Ryan has weapons.
Because he's the one throwing the ball.
And Matt Ryan has had mid.
Matt Ryan has always put up the stats to be his stats the last 2 years have matched his MVP stats. He's been consistently good.
So why hasn't it?
Because we ain't got no fucking defense.
No, because he's
no defense.
He crumbles under pressure.
He does not. He does not crumble under pressure.
Oh yeah, come on, man.
Yes, he does. I know this about the Falcons. You know my mom will scream her fucking lungs off every Sunday. I know that.
Do you actually watch the games? No, because you haven't watched one since 2016.
Oh my God, what was the game where he threw the pick after pick and they were turning over both the ball over in the last game? It was late in the season.
This season?
Yes.
Bro, we finished 4-12.
Okay, you don't understand.
We didn't have
we lost that game was
we didn't have a chance.
Matt Ryan.
We weren't playing for anything. To crumble under pressure, you have to play for something. There has to be pressure. Where's the pressure in a 4-11 season?
Has Tom Brady
trying to?
The pressure is trying not to win, so you can get a top 4 pick.
Based on my understanding, Matt Ryan has had weapons basically the entire time he's been here. He's had Julio Jones,
and he's consistently been good. He hasn't consistently had a defense or a quality coaching staff.
The front office and everybody.
Because he has weapons. I'm not saying my thing isn't Tom Brady isn't good because he has weapons. My thing is, why don't the weapons get the fucking recognition too?
They do get recognition.
No, they don't, bro.
Yikes.
No,
they don't.
This nigga named one Bucks receiver. Did you name anybody on the defense?
Yes. What's his name?
You named 2 people off the Chiefs defense.
If I could just think for a second, cause.
All right, man.
Oh my God!
I want to talk about a real
name. Pierre.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah, Pierre-Paul.
That's
Davis Jr.
Y'all got me turning into Stephen A, bro. Let's talk about a fucking GOAT. A real GOAT.
God darn.
R.P. Kobe.
R.P. Kobe.
Nigga, R.P. Kobe.
I remember where I was actually.
Favorite Kobe moments.
I was
a real fucking goat with 5 rings.
I was at Ron's house. I think, did it happen? It had to happen on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I either had to get off work or I had to go to work the next day. I believe I got off work. I came over. I spent the night. We got up, and then we were about to start making music. And I think I had literally just rolled a blunt, and like, Ron was like, "Kobe died."
Kobe died on a Sunday.
What? Really?
Yeah, he died last year on a Sunday.
Oh man.
I remember the day. I remember everything that I did that day.
I must have took. I know I was off because there was no other reason for me to wake up and just be chilling in the living room smoking a blunt. Maybe I took the day off, but whatever the case may be, yeah, it didn't seem. It was like, and it was weird because it was the same thing when Mac Miller died. There's a guy that I know, and he posted it.
Mac Miller died on a Friday.
He did die on a Friday because I was having a really good day that day. He posted it, and I was like, that shit's not real. And then I look it up, and I was like, exactly. And then I looked it up again, and it'd be like, oh, no, this is real. And that shit was, I don't know. That was probably him and Mac Miller. I don't know. Kobe was really surreal. Kobe's was a lot more surreal than Mac Miller.
Kobe's death was like the shift. Everything for me went down after Kobe. I remember that day like vividly. I just remember I was out. One of my friends from Boston came down, and so we were trying to connect with her. So we were at my homie's apartment, like waiting for her to come. Mm-hmm. And then like they kept bullshitting and taking longer. So like the energy just like kept shifting. And I remember following the Lakers-Sixers game, which is wild that the Lakers are playing the Sixers tonight. Mm-hmm. Because that was the game LeBron passed Kobe for third all-time scoring. And I'll never forget when he went up to say hey to Kobe, Kobe did the old man clap before he dapped him up. And everybody was like, damn, Kobe's really an OG now, bro. He did the old man clap, dapped up LeBron. And then, like, you know, LeBron passed him on that night and everything was cool. And then, like, I remember at, like, 1 a.m.
I'm going to use my phone when the camera cuts off because my battery's low.
Okay.
Cool.
I remember when, at, like, 1 a.m., it was, like, everything just, like, changed. Like, my whole energy, like, shifted. Mm-hmm. And if you line up the times, that was about the time that Kobe got on the plane to go back to, like, L.A., mm-hmm. So it was like that was like really weird. And I remember I didn't get home till like 4 or something. But for whatever reason, I woke up at like 9, 10 o'clock, 8 or 9 o'clock that day. And then like, first it came from like TMZ. And I was like, nah, that's bullshit. TMZ just wants clicks. And then it came like Kobe, the Players Tribune started coming out. And like Washington Post, I think, picked it up. New York Times picked it up. I was like, damn, like this might like legit be real. And then as the day went on, they added like Gigi and then like the other people in it.
Mm-hmm. And I remember that being the first thing that I said. In fact, I was like, because once they said it was official that he died in a helicopter crash, I was like, God, I pray Gigi wasn't on a helicopter too, because like they were traveling a lot together, going to different games around the time. But to lighten the mood, I've already talked about Kobe Bryant's 81-point game. I think a couple of times on this cast. So
he dropped that on Jalen Rose, right?
Yes, amazing.
One of the greatest commercials.
I think my favorite Kobe moment that I got to experience, because I actually had this conversation with somebody recently. They were like, we didn't really get people at 24. We didn't really get to experience Kobe the way people like that were like, I don't know, 18, 19, 20, got to experience Kobe. Like the same way that we have the full experience of LeBron, because we're like tuned in a lot more, especially because we have social media and all this different shit. Like it's like, we knew about Kobe, but
we didn't really like tap into like his interviews when he was
adolescence.
Yeah, so with his role,
see all that shit on TV.
We just knew him as the superstar.
Just then we got to experience him like on old TVs, just vintage shit.
By the time we got to experience Kobe, he was coming out. He was already kind of out of his prime. I think probably the first time everybody's Kobe memories with him was when he beat the Celtics, and that was like literally like the last like. That was when
I noticed he was GOAT.
Actually, when he beat the
Orlando.
I remember.
I actually remember Kobe as far as the 2004 finals. Mm-hmm. I followed. My dad was a huge basketball fan.
Unless you
I grew up, watching basketball. Mm-hmm. So I and that's just as early, and it was like 2004. I was like 9. Mm-hmm. That's as early as and I remember him losing. And I remember my first like interactions with Kobe wasn't like love for Kobe because I was a Shaq fan. So the narrative was Kobe drove Shaq away. So that was really what drove me to be a D Wade fan because Shaq went to Miami. And then D Wade came up and helped him win the finals. Like, oh yeah, I love D Wade. But even and also those couple years, like Kobe was putting up MVP numbers, but he didn't really have anybody with him to win. And then it's again 2008 against the Celtics, even though they lost. That was like when I was like, oh yeah, I love Kobe again.
Yeah, like I think my favorite Kobe moment was the 81 points, but I don't know. Rival right next to that is seeing him drop. How many did he drop? 62? 60? Oh my God. On his last game.
The crazy thing about that game, bro, is the Jazz needed to win to make the playoffs.
Oh God. Kobe Bryant will define.
Like, you had a vintage Kobe Bryant moment coming down.
So many.
18
If you
18 pull up, 18-foot pull up, cash.
Bro, it'd be like
closing out the game.
He was like, it was really funny with him talking about just the game. He was like, yeah, all my life people have been telling me to pass the ball. This is the first game. All the time everybody was like, bro, no, shoot. Like, I remember watching it and I was
he took 50 shots.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
22 for 50 for the
field. 22 for 50.
I remember watching it. I was like, oh, God, this is awful to watch. Not like this Kobe. And then them shit started going in. And I was like,
yeah.
He made some pretty acrobatic ones in that game alone too.
Yeah, that one too. Or like,
I still remember high off the glass,
low elevation though. Like I'm not really getting up. The pump fake was still there. The triple threat.
See the crowd just
coming off
slowly getting louder.
I felt like we were all giving Kobe energy. He was like a spirit bomb, bro. We were. I remember where I was because I was like, oh no. We doing something for Kobe's last game. So,
bro, that was also the night the Warriors were chasing 73.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they flexed the Warriors game, I think, like ESPN2, and Kobe's game was on ESPN. And the Warriors game started maybe like an hour later or an hour earlier. Because I remember, like, I was flipping back and forth between each one. And then, like, the Warriors were playing the Grizzlies. So they had got a big lead, and I was like, all right. I was like, they got 73. I'm about to watch Kobe. Like, that finishing the 9 of Kobe.
Man, what an L for the Golden State that year. Anyway.
I remember.
That was a trope.
I remember very specific things. And we were like, oh, God.
My favorite Kobe moment is the bank shot fading 3 over the Heat.
Oh, God. That's super classic.
I remember that game. Him and Wade were like going. No, I'm sorry. My favorite Kobe moment is the 2009 Western Conference Finals. Him versus Melo. I think everybody who disrespects Melo should go back and watch Nuggets Melo, but watch that Melo specifically, that series Melo. Because I mean, like Melo hasn't been to the conference finals and he hasn't been the same guy since then, really. But when you want to discredit Melo, go watch that game, bro. Him and Kobe were going like back and forth, and that was like, and like you said, that was Kobe on the tail end of his prime, but. I mean, dude still gave you buckets. And then my other favorite Kobe moments are like commercials and interview spots. Like when the USA Summer, when Kyrie challenged him and he was like, yeah, man, he was like, give me a year, 50,000. He was like, I'll give you 25 just for you. He was like, no, give me a year, 50,000. And Kobe's over there like, easy money. Easy. I watched it today too. But he was like, easy money. And then he was like, boy, you better look me up. He was like, they switch you on me. Byron Scott gonna start calling for the front the post, double. He was like, I get switched on you. You're gonna be looking for the ref. Like, where's the foul? He's like, you're gonna need a pick to get off of me. You ain't gonna dribble. I was like, it was just the trash talk. Yeah. Then like 9 months later, he gets switched off of Kyrie. Kyrie tries to handle it and he blocks his shot. Yeah, it was like, bro, that was Kobe.
One of my favorite moments was when you talked about the commercials and stuff. Was when he was gloating about the guy that he scored 81 on, and he was
with Jalen Rose at the restaurant. He was like, "How many olives would you like?"
81. Bro, that game is.
No.
That game was literally a cosmic experience. I'm gonna go back. Like I watch that game every like 3 or 4 months or some shit like that, bro. It's like, bro, seeing him go like, because it's crazy.
He only had something like 26 points, I think, at halftime too.
That's literally what I was about to say. You're watching it. When you're watching it, the transition. It's the fact that like. Going into it, okay, this is Kobe Bryant's 81-point game. But while you're watching it, you're like, bruh, he's not gonna score.
Yeah, you're like
points.
you watching. You're like, how does he?
Every time, it's every time, bro. I'd be like, bro, there's no way he's gonna score
62 points in 3 quarters.
He has 26 points by the second. That third quarter, that nigga, it is not even the whole third quarter. It's like I think maybe like a third of the way through the third quarter.
Yeah, he doesn't start going off in the third quarter until maybe like the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, and then he just activates. It's like, bro, what?
And then he just owned the entire fourth.
Oh my!
I also love that picture where they're in the All-Star game and he's like dribbling in front of LeBron.
Oh yeah, one of the pictures that Drake ruined.
Yeah,
you just see Drake in the back. Yeah. There's a meme about the Jalen Rose thing. It's Jalen Rose, Chauncey, I think AI. I want to say Chris Webber. It's like the caption is "Smile if Kobe dropped 40 on you," and like everybody's smiling. But if you look at Jalen Rose, they put 2 mouths on this nigga. Oh my god. That was hilarious. My favorite Kobe commercial though is the one narrated, the Nike commercial top 2. The one with Kanye is number 2. But my favorite one, because I used that for my birthday for 24. But the one narrated by Kendrick after his passing, like, just be better. I quote that all the fucking time. Like that commercial still gives me chills. It's like, just be better. Can you do that?
But the nigga say, are you a different animal?
and the same beast? What the fuck does that mean?
You're no, that's not that hard. That wasn't that hard to comprehend either. It wasn't.
Do you know what's crazy about that? If you compare Kobe's stats as number 8 and number 24, he's a different animal, but the same beast.
He really is.
Literally, it's the key.
The key was that's how you get viral. That's how you get viral.
Got 3 titles as 8.
Post that shit.
2 and I posted it before. He got 3 titles at number 8. 2 at number 24. I think he had an MVP both times. The amount of points are like 16,000, 16,000.
It was like,
and completely
okay, I'm done with that. I'm gonna be better than that nigga now.
Better than him now. Like Jay Williams.
People were not like hood, but people were like afraid of Kobe, bro.
Right.
People were like, oh my god, like
niggas didn't want
to play. What are you gonna do with this nigga?
He wasn't playing against other people.
Outside of defensive, like minded people like Tony Allen or like your Raja Bells, niggas didn't want it with Kobe until he was on his retirement.
That's what I mean by like,
right.
Or if you were like on Bron or Melo's level, like you were the other star. But other than that, niggas didn't want it with Kobe until like 2016, where like, all right, yeah, you know, you can barely walk, nigga. Yeah,
he was still hell to deal with on 2K. Don't matter.
Oh my god,
still had the cleanest jump off.
Do you guys remember? I think it was somebody against the Raptors.
17, they put in the triple threat move. Don't give me Kobe.
I think it was the Raptors. It was either the Raptors or I think it was the Raptors, bro. Kobe got the ball and somebody bumped into him or did something and then ran off of him. And Kobe had the ball and he was like, and he waited for the dude to come back.
Oh yeah, I can't remember who it was. Yeah, they batted the ball back. Kobe went and got it, pump faked. Dude flew by him. Kobe shot it, foul, 4-point play. It was just like Kobe was ridiculous. It was another moment with the
puppet commercials were really funny.
The puppet commercial. Shout out to Keenan Thompson. He voiced, I think, LeBron. The puppet dunking on them reindeer. Speaking, that was like my favorite Christmas commercial. Speaking of favorite Christmas commercial, LeBron is supposedly signing a deal with Pepsi. So there's no more Sprite Cranberry commercials, bro, for Christmas.
Stop it.
That's how I know it's Christmas season, man.
No.
I'm like, bro,
you went to the dark side.
Right. I was like, bro,
ain't nobody drink Pepsi, man.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Or you shouldn't.
Pepsi
you shouldn't drink soda, period. I'm at that point in
life. You really shouldn't. Like, I don't really drink. I relapsed and had a soda yesterday, but I can go.
Oh, no. Every now and then.
Like, every now and then I go, but I think
hits with the right fast food meal, or I
got some.
I get the lemonade.
I got some jerk chicken, rice and peas, and cabbage.
See, you had a Coke, didn't you?
I had a pineapple Fanta and a beef patty. That shit was busting.
That is the best flavor.
Okay, no, the only soda I do be getting, I'll get a pina colada Fanta.
See, I had those. I tried that shit too.
I'm not gonna hold you. After they gave those freestyle soda fountains in restaurants,
Coke hadn't been the same.
And I was like, bro, I want to get rid of like soda. I don't want to drink as much soda. But like, bro, Fanta's got the market on lock. I know it's Coke, but like, bro, they got so many flavors. It was like, bro, that's new. Good. I gotta try that.
Bro,
they got this.
See, that's my biggest
kiwi
thing.
Watermelon or something like. No, this green apple flavor.
That one was good too.
Anytime something new comes out, I try it.
Yeah, like I tried the cherry Coke thing, vanilla thing. It's great.
They got a for example, I feel like I have to try it to know whether or not it's bad. You told me that about like music, like you have to listen to it like before you like can just write it off. Like, like I think with food, definitely with drinks. I don't know why. I feel like in a way I'm a beverage connoisseur. Like I really like drinks, and I don't really like things that are really sweet. But
I love fruit juice, bro.
Fruit juice, yeah.
I fucking love fruit.
Oh my god.
Ocean spray. I love ocean spray.
Oh, dude.
Cran mango, cran apple, cran grape, cran white peach, cran.
Oh, I haven't even had the white peach.
Cran mango and some vodka, bro.
Have you guys had fucking passion fruit juice?
I love
straight out ocean spray, or we just period?
Passion fruit.
Just straight passion fruit juice. Like it is absolute crack, bro. Like
I am addicted to the Snapple. Snapple has a lemonade.
I used to be addicted to the strawberry lemonade or the pink lemonade.
Strawberry kiwi,
kiwi strawberry.
I love the kiwi strawberry.
There's a fucking Arnold Palmer version.
Oh, I had Arnold Palmer version. There's one.
I'm still addicted to Arizona.
I used to make the fucking Snapple tea.
Are they really going to
I used to have all that.
I hope not, bro. It still says 99 cents on the can, bro.
Let's keep it that way.
Let's keep it 99 cents, bro.
Arizona's got, but it's like I don't really do the TT.
The
like
price on
I like the fruit punch.
The price is
the watermelon.
The mucho mango, bro.
Oh, yeah.
The price is on the can, bro.
That's the
price
greatest.
is on the can.
The price on the can.
Always gotta
shout out to Atlanta. The price is on the can, though.
The price is on the can, though.
Dude.
No resolution. Best part about it.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah, the Snapple has a specific brand of like lemonades, and they come in cherry lemonade, watermelon lemonade, and strawberry lemonade.
I may have ran into a faulty one because one time I had that one, it was nasty.
Which one?
And I don't say that for juice a lot. I think it was grape lemonade, but it was Snapple brand, and it was lacking. First, it was just lacking sugar.
Jerry Seinfeld did a lot for Snapple in the 90s.
I would who?
Jerry Seinfeld. If you ever like watch an episode of Seinfeld, when they go into his fridge, they pretty much always pull out a Snapple.
Dude, it's random.
I like mango tea, bro.
Mystics.
Yeah,
I used to like Mystics a lot. I also used to
with a K. Or am
they
I
have a Karen time.
No, it was a
never
mind.
I used to really also like Calypsos, but they're too sugary.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're way too sweet.